Hi, my name is Dennis Simpson. I'm about to start a journey across the state of Ohio from the southwest corner to the northeast corner. I'm standing here at the most southwest point that you can drive on. This is a unique spot. I'll turn the camera around so you can take a look at it. The thing that's unique about this road is it's called Lawrenceburg Road. But if you go to the other side of the sign, you'll find out the same road is called Briar Road. So that's an easy way to find the southwest corner of Ohio. The way I'm going to travel today is on a motorcycle. This motorcycle is a Honda Trail 125. It's kind of a minimal bike, has a maximum speed of 55 miles an hour, but it's good for the type of roadways that I'll be going on, which is primarily country roads and some trails through forest.
A drive from the southwest corner of Ohio up to the northeast corner is roughly 350 miles. But to make the challenge a little more interesting, I followed the Great Ohio Adventure Trail, often referred to by its acronym, the G.O.A.T. The G.O.A.T begins in Ripley, Ohio and leads the rider through a maze of dirt, gravel, and country roads for 1,100 miles, 29 counties, 12 state parks, and all 3 sections of the Wayne National Forest. Since I've lived most of my life in the extreme southwest corner of Ohio, I decided to start my journey there and move on to the official start of the G.O.A.T in Ripley. This alternate starting point added 2 more counties and nearly 100 miles to my overall trip. And so my journey began. The first landmark I passed, the tomb of President William Henry Harrison, was just a few miles up the road. Riding through Cincinnati, I passed Paycor Stadium, the home of the Bengals, and then the Great American Ballpark, the home field of the Cincinnati Reds. Heading east, I made quick stops at the birthplace of President Ulysses S. Grant in Point Pleasant, then the Mendall Lock and Dam. My destination for the first day was the riverfront town of Ripley, Ohio. After a fast food meal at McDonald's, I bedded down for the night at the very modest Greenwood Motel. Upon waking up the following morning, one might ask, why would a 71-year-old man want to ride a small motorcycle hundreds of miles over unfamiliar paths? The answer is found in Emerson's quote, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." In my journeys of power paragliding, running marathon races, piloting a small sailboat the length of the Ohio River, bicycling from coast to coast, and kayaking from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Cairo, Illinois, my journeys have never been about a particular destination. My journeys have always been about meeting interesting people, experiencing incredible places, and doing things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. The second day of my journey began simple enough with a brief stop in Ripley at the home of John Parker, a former slave who became a famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. From 1845 to 1865, he helped lead hundreds of slaves to freedom. But after visiting the Parker House and moving on to the official start of the Great Ohio Adventure Trail, my problems began. The trail is divided into 10 sections, with the first section being 121 miles long from Ripley to Shawnee State Park. I've been practicing riding on my local gravel roads, but the problems caused by the ruggedness of the G.O.A.T were not expected. First of all, I was traveling on the stock tires that came with the motorcycle. The stock tires didn't have the support or traction needed on loose gravel roads. Secondly, I thought I did a great job mounting the cargo boxes to carry my supplies, but by the end of the day, the rack on the back was severely sagging. And finally, I hope my camera's built-in stabilizing feature would provide clear video, but as you can see in this example, that didn't quite work out. Despite these problems, I rode a little over 100 miles on Section 1 before encountering a closure of the trail. This closure was in a remote area of the forest, without cell phone coverage, so I backtracked to a paved road until a cell signal could be found. I then used Google Maps as a guide to Portsmouth, Ohio, where I had already planned to stay for the night. Due to this detour, my mileage for the day was actually more than the 121 miles Section 1 is supposed to be. Throughout the following 9 sections of the trail, I carefully reviewed the next day's route. Based on conditions, elevations, and the limitations of my bike, I modified the predetermined routes to fit within my capabilities. Even with these minor changes, I covered the specified mileage for each section and saw all the points of interest on the Great Ohio Adventure Trail. Highlights of the trail included the Vesuvius Iron Furnace near Ellisonville, the Blue Creek General Store, which is a popular stop for goat riders, the Wayne National Forest, the Moonville Tunnel near Nelsonville, and Buckdell Spring, where you can stop to fill your water bottle. I saw the huge bucket of the Big Muskie, once the largest dragline excavator in the world. It's so big the local high school band could fit inside. At one stop, I climbed to the top of an 80-foot fire tower to view over 4,500 acres of the Mohican State Forest. I also saw covered bridges after covered bridges after covered bridges. Besides the points of interest I expected to see, there were also many surprises. For one, I didn't realize Ohio had so many miles of public dirt and gravel roads. I also didn't expect to see so many Amish families. Their homes were easy to pick out because they were beautifully kept, but had no utility lines running to the house. I was surprised to see a gathering of old boats at Marietta preparing for their annual Ohio River Sternwheel Festival, with their queen presiding over the festivities. The diversity in the design of churches on the eastern side of the state was unexpected. Many of the small towns I rode through reminded me of those I saw in Colorado, with lots of activity and virtually no empty storefronts. A couple of the problems I mentioned earlier, such as the sagging cargo rack, turned out to be due to cracks in the metal. Using small C-clamps and ratchet straps proved to be the temporary cure. And as for the shaky video of my camera, I fixed that by mounting the camera to my helmet. My head proved to be a lot more stable than the motorcycle handlebars where the camera was mounted before. After a week and a half riding my little motorcycle, I arrived at the official end of the Great Ohio Adventure Trail. I stopped to take a few pictures along the shore of Lake Erie, but my goal of traveling from the extreme southwest corner of Ohio to the extreme northeast corner had not yet been met. The small red X in the circle marks the end of the G.O.A.T. The yellow dashed line is the border, with Ohio on the left and Pennsylvania on the right. Without a public path to my goal, I had to ride south several miles, then east into Pennsylvania, then back north on a gravel road, and finally a couple miles west, where I got off my bike and shot this final scene of my video.
I made it to the end of the G.O.A.T. in the northeast corner of Ohio, but I wasn't as far as you could possibly go. In order to get there, I had to backtrack and go into the state of Pennsylvania. I'm at a place called The Rock, which you can see over my shoulder, and it's Lake Erie in back of me. And about the distance I could throw a rock over in that direction is Ohio. So there's nothing much to look at. This is a gravel road out here. We're just in the midst of a wooded area. You can see what it's like. So I could show you the northeast corner, but this is the most scenic area to look at that's close to it. But as I am standing here right now, I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. And now I'm going to turn around and see how long it takes me to get back home.